Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Week 6 of the Uber's UU Draft League. Today we are looking at Pool B, all three of their games this week. Yeah, I know, not that great, but here we are. First off, we have Avalug Simp versus Yermos, and this game honestly was such a slaughter because of the unbreakability of Florges. Yeah, that's a sentence I didn't think I would say. But Floyd just absolutely super bowled everything. But at the end of the game, it was a 5-0 victory for Yermos, only losing the Sizzler to a sack on the King Gambit. But besides that, Yermos just played really well. He's just overall everything he did was great, and I'm looking forward to see how he plays now that I think he's guaranteed for the postseason. Next up is a game. I'm just going to start us right at the beginning so you can see how fast this went to heck. This game, this is Wi-Fi versus I Like Eating Crayons. And the first thing we see is the continuation of the Terra Ice Dawn fan that has not once impressed me this draft league. Despite a person in each pool drafting Dawn fan, no one has impressed me with it. Overall, Dawn fans just I don't think Dawn fans with the points, and I think too many people try to use it. So again, this is just Wi-Fi's Zacian plus support team. He only has 2 mons come out this entire game. He has the Serena to set screens, and then once screens are up, he gets the +4 attack, and he OHKOs the entirety of Kranz's team. There was a moment where it looked like Kranz might actually stop the sweep, where he managed to set up Trick Room with a Focus Sash Smeargle. And the first mon he brought in was a Choice Scarf Meowscarada that outsped Zacian and ended up not doing all that fantastically, given outspeeding in Trick Room is not what you want. So we're on to already our match of the week. Of Dino versus Mosinite. Dino, pretty middle of the pack player at the moment. He's won some games, he's lost some games. Overall, though, he has started to pop off a bit after starting, I believe, 0-3. He's managed to claw himself back to a pretty respectable 2-3, and he's in a pretty good chance for a playoff spot. And then we have the 7-0 Mosinite, who has been an absolute beast throughout the entirety of this draft. He's been managed to outplay everyone defensively, and he's just a very fantastic player, and I can't wait to see what this game has in store. Dino's team here is full of threats. Zamazenta, Esperanza, Entei, Rolling Moon, Torkoal, Torkoal, Torterra, Masquerain, and Enamorous. Even Clawitzer can all be very, very strong mons if given an opportunity to set up, which mons like Colossal, even Masquerain itself, and then of course Shedtail Cyclozar all provide incredible opportunities. So while Dino may have a heck of a lot of trains, Mosinite just has a couple of solid walls that, if he positions them right, I'm not sure how Dino is going to be able to beat. I think things we're definitely going to see from Mosinite this week is we're definitely going to see that Moltres. We're definitely going to see he's a part of the pesky Pekkas, or Pikas? I don't know how you say it, team. So he's definitely bringing the Pika Runt, or the Pekka Runt. And it's a great mon, just in this matchup. Even so, it doesn't stop the Rolling Moon, but it does do decently against Zamazenta, and once it terras, it can stop a Torterra fairly decently, potentially. And then other things we see are a Chestnut, who I think Chestnut's a good wall against the Shell Smash Torterra. Primarina is just a very good Pokemon. It's quite bulky, it's able to do some things. Great Tusk and Great Tusk I foresee coming just to stop Sticky Web shenanigans from Dino early game. And then Dialga is probably going to be as heavy-hitted if it comes. I could see a Choice Scarf Lati coming from Mozo, and then finally the last one I could potentially see is just the Shaman, the Terrifier Shaman that is terrifying to all of their opponents. Mozo's just got a fantastic core, but Dino has so much offensive prowess here that I want to see how this game goes. So, starting off, we have a Great Tusk versus Masquerain lead. This is the most predictable lead I think we could have had of just these two mons. It's the Web Setter versus the Web Stopper. But Great Tusk doesn't have all that much special defense. And I think we might see some potentially very interesting things here with the Hurricane of setting it down to Sash immediately and confusing. If the confusion hit himself there, this game would go entirely differently. But he managed to get a rapid spin off. He gets a nice spin off and manages to not die. Sticky Web comes up, and then he switches out. He switches out on what is the most obvious rapid spin of the year, and brings an Entei, revealing that the Entei itself was Mirror Herb, potentially some swagger shenanigans. And now webs are probably not going to come back up. Great Tusk being on 1% means he can sack it later, and I don't see how Entei breaks a Pekkarunt, so he just goes straight into the Cyclozar and gets a really unfortunate poison from the Sludge Bomb. So he just hard switches. He can't even bother going for the Shed Tail because of the poison, and then he just brings in a Clawitzer boy. Clawitzer, that's a choice specs Clawitzer, and that's dealing 25% to Primarina. Primarina is an absurd mon. Oh, I lied. It's Life Orb. But still, Primarina incredibly bulky, and even dealing 57 if that's Sludge Wave, I don't think it's enough. Yeah. The Clawitzer manages to die with dealing most of Primarina, sure, but so what? You're down a mon, and now Primarina's up a substitute. We'd be wild to see like a Bug Buzz here. That miss is really unfortunate because he lost the substitute stayed up, so he has to potentially lose another mon to this. I personally think that's a bit of a misplay there on Dino's end. Yeah, he's down a lot right now, but that could, if this is like a loaded dice Shell Smash Torterra, which is pretty common, it could be Bullet Seed, and that would just break the sub and probably kill the Primarina. Terra Normal, pretty standard stuff. It was, I'm betting it's still that Swagger set, even if he's not pulling it out. And again, Pekkarunt just comes in. Whoa, boy. Pekkarunt comes in on the Entei and just clicks Sludge Bomb again, doing so much damage to the Cyclozar. Cyclozar has been able to do nothing this game because of the Pekkarunt just hitting it repeatedly. It's a bit of a positioning mistake, honestly, to allow that to happen as much as he did. But now we have a threat. Roaring Moon is a terrifying mon, and it's about to get a free turn to set up, because I don't think this has Will-O-Wisp on it. Even going Dialga. This is booster attack, by the way, which means he's going all in on power. Dino wins here, or he loses here. This is his last chance. So he goes for the Dragon Dance, one-shot KOs Dialga, which is absurd power, and we see Mozo's last chance at stopping this. The Rubber Chicken, the Moltres, coming in. Does it survive? Yes. And it gets off a Roost. Now, most of you know this, but Knockoff has extra power if it manages to knock off an item. So by having its item gone, the next one's only gonna do like the next knockoff's only gonna do like 53%. And Moltres now is basically going to be pretty safe to wall this Mon. He goes for an acrobatics and gets the flame body burn, which is really unfortunate. That's what you don't want to see if you're Dino. That makes Roaring Moon basically just nothing. And yeah, he tries to set up another Dragon Dance, but you're gonna need, I believe, like +5 at this point if you're gonna try and kill that rubber chicken. Though, Dino's not giving up yet. Yet he finishes off the Great Tusk Sack, which is great to see. And he's kind of faster than everything. This is still gonna hurt a lot, even if... Oh, never mind. Forgot Terra. Terra makes it hurt a lot less. So Pekkavunt's able to come in. Pekkavunt has an absurd defensive stat of 160. It's gonna just recover that damage off. And it can just kind of sit here in front of this, this is Dino's clicking all of his moves, just praying something's gonna break through this Mon, but doesn't look like that's the case. And still, Moltres is at 100% in the back. Brute Bonnet's at 100% in the back. He forced the Terra to water, which is really good if Torterra manages to get in here. And if Torterra manages to get in, he could potentially Shell Smash and then like Bullet Seed the Pekkavunt to try and kill it. Now Rubber Chicken comes out. Rubber Chicken doesn't really have any... If there's a Stone Edge here, that would be awesome, which is what Mozo switches to avoid. And it is the Stone Edge, but it misses anyways. He does an extreme speed, does 20%, barely meaningful damage. He recovers, I believe he's going to recover it off cleanly. But, oh, parting shots. Ooh, he doesn't care about the, Pekkavunt anymore. It's done its job. So we see Rubber Chicken coming in on the Stone Edge again, which is really interesting on my end. Okay, but he hits himself in this confusion. And lastly, it all comes down to a Shell Smash Torterra. But even so, we're gonna see 50% dealt, another poison. Mozo getting really lucky on these poisons today. And he's just gonna finish that Mon off. Now, Brute Bonnet comes in. I believe it has Sucker Punch. Yep, and that's an end of the game. So, Mozo winning really cleanly 3-0 over Dino. He tried his best, but it just wasn't enough. As easy as it would be to give Mon of the Week to Zacian from Wi-Fi, I don't believe... Zacian didn't do anything special. No offense, Wi-Fi. Actually, you know what? No offense, Wi-Fi. But, I'm gonna have to say Pekkavunt for absolutely destroying Dino's team. Entei, Torterra, stopping the Cyclozar single-handedly, and even being able to wall the Roaring Moon to death. Pekkavunt is the MVP of this match, and I'm gonna have to give it Mon of the Week. Flying Chicken also did a great job, but overall, Pekkavunt, I think, stands above and beyond everything. And that is all for me. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you later.